Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
All right, welcome to Companies to Watch. And the man to watch is Dan Koh. Good morning, sir. I cannot get over your beautiful black leather jacket.
Oh, man. Yeah, you haven't stopped talking about it since the day started. But thank you so much. It's a really comfortable jacket. Do you have one yourself, a leather jacket?
I probably do somewhere in the wardrobe. I just probably haven't worn it in years.
Well, you should maybe. And that might bring you some numbers, I guess.
Yeah, but might bring me some nostalgia from my biking days. No, I'm kidding. I've never owned a bike. I've owned a bicycle.
A bike? That counts still. It still makes you feel a little bit like Tom Cruise.
Okay, fair enough.
A little bit like that. Yeah. But welcome to Companies to Watch. That's a segment where we spotlight and stock you up with ideas of companies that will call for your attention. So we're looking at market trends to risks, as well as hidden gems or warning signs to steer clear of. So be part of the conversation, 8855-0893, and tell us whether you think it's going to be a hot or not. I miss this so much.
I miss that too.
All right, Emaad. Today we're turning to a global leader in semiconductor technology that's celebrated for its cutting-edge computing and graphics solutions. When you think of chips, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Nvidia.
Very good, but we're not going there today. We're going to AMD.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they're a direct rival, Advanced Micro Devices. Founded back in 1969, AMD has become a prominent player in the tech industry. They've consistently innovated across high-performance processors and graphics products for a wide range of applications, from the likes of consumer electronics and gaming to enterprise data centers. Are you much of a gamer, Emaad?
I'm not, but Ryan Huang is.
Oh yes,
and he's not here today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I've heard. I've heard AMD chips are great for gaming consoles. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Because I have one myself.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So I made a PC from scratch. So I had to get like different parts, and
I
have some from AMD. Yeah.
You are super creative.
I try to be sometimes. Okay, but yes. Advanced Micro Devices reported their first fiscal quarter earnings on Tuesday that topped expectations, and that kind of provided a strong forecast for the current quarter revenue. Here's how they did. Earnings per share came in at 96 cents adjusted versus 94 cents expected. Revenue came in at $7.44 billion versus the $7.12 billion expected. And for the current quarter, they expect, about $7.4 billion, like I've mentioned, in sales with a gross margin of 43%. That's higher than expectations. So it does seem like it's linked to the tune of optimism and, the AI run that we've been seeing, at least within the tech space. And AMD CEO Lisa Su has said that the company achieved its first quarter results even despite grappling regulations on advanced AI chip exports. The company's other major segment, the client and gaming segment, it includes chips for consumer devices like laptops, gaming PCs. They've all risen by 28% on an annual basis to $2.9 billion. So people like Ryan Huang, they've been gaming quite a fair bit. I think that's the reason why he's not here today. Okay. So, yes.
That's not true.
No, that's not true. But AMD said sales for its laptop and PC chips, which it calls client revenue, had surged 68% year over year because of their strong demand for chips called Zen 5 that was released last summer. Gaming sales, however, declined by 30% on annual basis. Their embedded segment, which is mostly sales from the company's 2022 acquisition of Silins, declined 3% on an annual basis to $823 million.
Wow.
So, that being said, if we look at how they've performed and how investors are reacting to their shares overnight, it seems like it's fairly optimistic. It's up 1.76% to $100.36. But the company did forecast that they would have an $800 million in costs that the company would incur because the U.S. limited the export of some of the company's artificial intelligence chips during the quarter. A lot of restrictions we've seen in this space when it comes to chip making. And the guidance stems from an export restriction imposed back in April that targeted AMD's MI308 chips. So data center revenue will decline because of that in the current period, hurt by a $700 million reduction in sales of that product. But, Emaad, Chief Executive Officer Lisa Su remains bullish about the overall demand for AI infrastructure. And she also reiterated that her projection of new chips debuting soon will help to boost sales in the second half of this year. But she's still facing some investor concerns about trade restrictions and tariffs, as well as the challenges of competing with, like what you've mentioned earlier today, their larger rival Nvidia in the AI chip market. So all in all, how are you reading what you're seeing in the market and in the news?
Well, it's difficult to read it entirely unfiltered from the tariff situation, the global tariff situation. That being said, I did read a report about the Trump administration's plans to revise a set of trade restrictions called the AI diffusion rule, which was put in place by the Biden administration as one of his final acts, which put global export controls on advanced AI chips to prevent nations like China from gaining ground. So reversing that has actually, Nvidia shares went up yesterday. And I'm sure that's going to help the likes of Qualcomm, Intel, and AMD as well. So I see Qualcomm still on the rise. Their performance is good, affordable, they're versatile, different use cases. So why not?
Certainly, I mean, a lot of people have said that the Biden AI rule is overly complex and that would, stymie American innovation. So I think this would provide some much needed relief to the chip space. And this would also certainly, provide some optimism, especially at a time where, Donald Trump is just like sending stocks just spiraling through his tariffs that we've seen in recent weeks, right? So that being said, I mean, if we look at how AMD has performed over time, at least based on the helm of Sue, she's certainly done some good work in bringing the stock and the company to where it is today, one of the major players in AI chip space. Since she took on the role at AMD, the company has certainly transformed itself into one of the leading provider of technology across the computing industry. It now reports more than 5 times the revenue it had 10 years ago and no longer in the shadow of Intel.
That's what you call growth, sir.
Yes, big growth. And that's why it is a hot for me. What about you, Emaad?
I'm going to lean between a lukewarm and a hot. Given that Donald Trump's whole tariff narrative is so uncertain. But between lukewarm and hot is my call.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
That's according to TipRanks, Yahoo, and Barron's as well, because they've given it a buy rating as of the 8th of May. So that pretty much wraps it for our analysis of today's stock in focus, AMD. Now, Emaad, did you know that AMD is one of the few companies that developed processors based on the x86 architecture, which is the foundation of most personal computers? In fact, they were also the first to create a compatible 64-bit processor, the AMD Opteron, back in 2003.
Wow.
So making waves in the computing space. So, Emaad, are you a GPU?
Am I a GPU? Why would I be a GPU?
Well, it seems like it because I want to make you mine.
That's a good one.
And that's all we have for AMD.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.